Must watch. A woman will do this when you stop talking to her. Modern Stoic. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Zrenia Eden Abez. Let's be real for a moment. Men have been trained to believe that in order to win a woman's attention, they must chase after her. Text first, call first, never let the conversation die. But what happens when you take the opposite approach? What happens when you stop texting, stop calling, and let her feel your absence? That's when the truth comes to light. Here's the twist. Most men think that silence equals losing. They believe if they pull back and stop talking to a woman, she'll forget them, move on, and be fine. But that's not how women's minds work. When you go silent, her mind begins to race. She'll start analysing, questioning, and most importantly, she'll react. And those reactions, they reveal everything you need to know about her true level of interest. This is where most men go wrong. They assume that keeping a woman's attention is what builds attraction, but the reality is quite different. Sometimes distance creates far more curiosity and intrigue than constant attention ever will. Humans, especially women, are wired to want what they can't fully have. When you pull away, she feels it. She starts to wonder, to doubt, and often, she starts to chase. That's the magic of emotional control and the real power of creating mystery in a relationship. Whether you're dealing with an ex, a woman you've been casually dating, or someone who seemed interested but then pulled back, her response to your silence will tell you everything you need to know. If you've ever felt like you're the one doing all the work, while she simply sits back, this is about to change the way you approach relationships forever. The truth? Attraction isn't about chasing. It's about mystery, value, and emotional control. Master this, and you'll never be uncertain about where you stand with a woman again. So, let's dive in. Here's exactly what happens when you stop talking to her. 1. She starts watching you closely. When you stop talking to a woman, something fascinating happens. She begins to watch you closely. At first, you might think that she's moved on or that she doesn't care, but in reality, she's doing the exact opposite. She may not send texts or engage with your posts, but make no mistake. She's observing you with a level of curiosity that's hard to ignore. Women, by nature, are highly observant, and when a man who once paid attention to them suddenly goes silent, their curiosity switches into overdrive. It's not just a passive glance, it's an active search for answers. The silence you create makes her question everything. Why did he stop talking? Has he lost interest? Is there someone else now? These questions don't just linger, they create emotional tension. That tension, though uncomfortable, is powerful, because when she begins to question, she begins to think about you constantly. And, as we all know, emotional investment leads to attraction. You might not see her engaging with your social media posts, but she's watching. She's one of the first to view your stories. She reads between the lines of your status updates, and yet there's no like or comment to give her away. Her silence is strategic. She's observing, not just to see what you're doing, but to decipher what's changed, what's different about you, and why is the attention you once gave her suddenly gone. The more she sees you, whether in person or online, the more she becomes intrigued. You'll notice subtle changes. She may glance at you more often, act like she doesn't notice you at all, or even show up in places where she knows you'll be. These signs might seem casual at first, but they're anything but. She's searching for answers, trying to figure out what's happened to the man she thought she knew. Let's say that you used to text her regularly, morning check-ins, casual chats throughout the day, but one day you stop. You don't call, you don't text, and you don't check in. At first, she might act unaffected, even pretending like she's perfectly fine. But after a few days, something changes. She begins to notice your social media updates, perhaps a gym photo or a picture with friends where you look more focused than ever. Suddenly, she's thinking, what happened? Why isn't he talking to me anymore? And then, without warning, she may bring it up. So, you've been busy lately? She might casually say, "But don't be fooled, it's not just small talk." This is her attempt to gain insight into your behavior. She wants to know if you're losing interest or if she's simply losing control over your attention. She's trying to understand if the distance is a sign of something deeper and if she's starting to lose you. Pulling back, in this case, is incredibly powerful. It forces her to think, and the more she thinks about you, the more emotionally invested she becomes. It's a subtle game of control that works in your favor. So remember, when you stop talking to her, you're not just disappearing, you're making her feel something, and that feeling often leads to deeper attraction. 2. She tests you with a random text. When you stop talking to a woman, don't expect an immediate reaction. At first, she may act like your silence doesn't faze her, even pretending she's unaffected. But as time passes, that silence begins to gnaw at her, and she'll feel compelled to break it. The way she does this might surprise you. Instead of directly addressing the situation, she may send you a seemingly trivial text, something simple like, "Hey, what's up?" Or perhaps even a random meme. It won't carry any deep meaning, and you might wonder why she's sending it. That's the point. It's not about the content of the message, but about what it represents. This text is a test, a subtle way for her to gauge whether you're still there, still interested, still available. Women, by nature, dislike uncertainty, and your silence has created that exact feeling. The longer you remain silent, the more she wonders, is he still an option? When she sends that text, it's not to start a conversation, but to confirm if she still has power over you. If you jump to respond with enthusiasm, excitement, or validation, you fail with the test. You've just signaled that despite the silence, she can reach you whenever she wants, thus reinforcing her sense of control. But what if you don't immediately respond? What if you keep your distance, showing no urgency, no excitement? That small shift in behavior will stir something unexpected in her. She'll begin to feel the fear of losing you, something she didn't anticipate. Let's say, for example, you used to text her every day, and then you go quiet for several days, or even a week. Out of nowhere, she sends that casual, "Hey, stranger" message. It might seem harmless, even playful, but there's something deeper at play. She's hoping you'll bite, that you'll be eager to respond. But here's the thing. When you jump to reply, she regains control. The moment she senses you're invested, she will pull away again, leaving you frustrated and confused. The right move, however, is to remain indifferent. Don't be excited. Don't validate her. If you choose to reply, keep it short and neutral. "What's up?" or "all good." This isn't about being rude. It's about setting a boundary. It's about demonstrating that your time, energy, and attention aren't easily won. By doing so, you flip the dynamic. Now she's the one who wonders what's going on with you, and that subtle shift in power is significant. Once a woman starts perceiving that she has to earn your attention, that's when you start becoming valuable in her eyes. The less available you seem, the more she'll want to pursue, and that's where the real attraction begins to build. This approach isn't about manipulation or games, it's about setting standards and respecting yourself. If you're constantly available and eager, you risk becoming predictable and unappreciated. But by asserting your own worth and maintaining your emotional autonomy, you invite a woman to view you as someone who's not just waiting for her, but someone she must actively earn. And that, in the realm of attraction, is the secret to keeping her genuinely interested. If you're ready to take control of your relationships, drop a comment right now. I am the man who commands respect. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remember, true power lies in silence, not desperation. Keep your boundaries strong and watch how the dynamic shifts in your favor. 3. She posts to get your attention. When you stop talking to a woman, the silence creates an undeniable shift in the dynamic between you. It's a psychological trigger, curiosity. She, who once had your attention, now finds herself questioning why you no longer engage with her. This shift in the balance of power forces her to seek it back, but not overtly. No, she's far too subtle for that. What does she do? She turns to the very tool of modern life that has become the stage for such games: social media. At first, it may seem innocent, a casual selfie, perfectly curated to appear effortlessly stunning, designed to catch your eye as it pops up in your feed. She knows what it will do: make you stop scrolling, make you pause, make you think of her. But it doesn't stop there. The next post? A cryptic quote. One that seems just personal enough to hint at something deeper, about losing interest, moving on, or not chasing what isn't meant to be. It feels almost like an invitation, a challenge. Then, the next post reveals her living her best life, looking carefree and radiant. But wasn't she just complaining about being bored a few days ago? Suddenly, she's living like she's always wanted, without a care in the world. It's all part of the strategy, a calculated play to capture your attention once more. She wants you to believe she's doing perfectly fine without you, because that's what will trigger a response from you. And when you react, she wins. She gets exactly what she's looking for: your attention. The moment you like her post, comment on it, or get even a little jealous when you see her having fun without you, you've handed over the power once again. But here's the real power move. What if you don't react at all? This is where the game flips. When you remain unresponsive, it forces her to question herself. Why hasn't he noticed? Why hasn't he liked my post? Why hasn't he even viewed my story? The silence eats away at her. She checks again, just to be sure. And again. Soon the posts become more frequent, more desperate, as she pushes every button she can, trying to get a reaction, trying to reel you back in. But instead of pulling you closer, it only deepens her thoughts about you. Silence, you see, is a form of power. When you stop giving her the validation she craves, she feels the void. And once she feels that shift, there's no turning back. That's when the real chase begins. And suddenly, she's the one running after you. This is the modern game of attraction, the pursuit of power through attention, and the subtle art of maintaining your control. And here's a key lesson for you. The moment you stop engaging in these power games, you regain your value and emotional independence. If you stay strong and unresponsive, you show her that you are not easily controlled, not someone who will fall for these tricks. This is a lesson in emotional discipline and modern Stoicism. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By not playing into her attempts to control you with attention, you become a man of strength and discipline, unaffected by the fleeting games of the world around you. So, here's my advice. Don't let her social media antics dictate your actions. When she pulls back, you don't need to follow. Your focus, your energy, should always be in your own life, your own purpose. She's testing you, not just to see if you're watching, but to see if you're worthy of her attention. By not reacting, you pass the test with flying colours. Silence isn't weakness. It's a powerful statement of self-respect and self-control. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below. I control my attention, I control my life. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom. And remember, true power lies in what you don't do, not what you do. 4. She acts like she doesn't care. Everything about her seems normal. She's not texting, not checking in, not showing any signs of missing you. If anything, she looks even happier, laughing, posting, living life like nothing ever happened. No emotional messages, no frustration, just complete silence. But here's what you need to understand. If a woman genuinely moves on, she doesn't need to prove anything. She doesn't need to act indifferent. She just is. So when she's suddenly showing you how unbothered she is, it's usually not as real as it seems. Women are masters of emotional control when they need to be. She might feel something, but she's not about to let you see it. Instead, she's going to put on a show. She's not texting first. That's on purpose. She's not asking about you through mutual friends. That's intentional. She's avoiding acknowledging the situation altogether. That's strategy. See, when a woman acts like she doesn't care, it's often because she wants you to start questioning if she ever did. She's testing you in silence, trying to see if your ego can handle it. Will you reach out? Will you try to fix things? Will you take the bait and chase her? That's the game, and most men fall for it. They panic. They overanalyze every little thing. Has she really moved on? Was I just a phase? And the moment you start thinking like that, you're already losing. Because now, instead of standing firm, you're considering breaking the silence just to see where she stands. And the second you do that, she wins. But here's the truth. Real detachment doesn't need to be performed. A woman who has truly moved on won't feel the need to make sure you notice. She won't try to send a message through calculated silence. She'll just be gone. So what do? You match her energy. You stay focused on your life. If she wants to play indifferent, let her. The moment you refuse to chase, the pressure shifts onto her. Now she's wondering, why isn't he reaching out? Did he move on? Was I not as important as I thought? And that's when the act starts to crack. Because if she truly didn't care, you wouldn't be on her mind in the first place. 5. She tries to make you jealous. When a woman stops hearing from you, don't be surprised if she tries to make you jealous. Women are deeply attuned to emotions, and they know exactly how to stir up a reaction. One of their most common tactics? Making you feel like you might lose them. If she senses your attention slipping away, she'll do whatever it takes to make you feel like you're missing out. She'll casually drop hints about other men, whether it's about a funny guy at work or a charming fellow at the gym. Notice, she doesn't outright say she's interested. She simply lets the information slip, knowing that the subtle suggestion is all she needs to trigger a response from you. This is a trap, and most men fall into it. You start to feel uneasy, wondering if she's losing interest, and before long, you're scrambling to win back her attention. But here's the problem. When you react with jealousy, you confirm her suspicions. She still has your attention, and you've just handed her the power. She's got you exactly where she wants you, emotionally tethered to her. But understand this. If she were truly interested in this other guy, she wouldn't need to make sure you knew about him. Women don't openly flaunt their real attractions. Instead, they act on them quietly and confidently. So, if she's drawing attention to another man, it's not because she's moving on. It's because she wants to see how you'll react. Think about it like this. Imagine you're having a conversation with a woman you really like at a party. Are you going to stop everything just to text another woman about how great she is? Of course not. You're too focused on the woman in front of you. The same principle applies here. If she's broadcasting her interest in someone else, chances are it's just a performance. Here's a classic scenario. After days of silence, she suddenly posts a picture with some guy, nothing overly romantic, but just enough to make you question things. A hand on her shoulder, a playful caption, a glance that seems to hint at something more. She knows you'll see it, and she's waiting to see what you'll do. Now, what's the weak move? Reacting, texting her, asking who he is, making passive-aggressive comments or trying to call her out. But the smart move? You do nothing. You keep your composure. You let her wonder why you're not fazed. And here's the truth. Once she realizes her attempts to make you jealous aren't working, she starts questioning her own position. That's when the power shifts. Now she's the one thinking about you. As the Stoics say, control your emotions or they will control you. Don't let jealousy dictate your actions. Keep your focus, stay composed, and remember, your silence is often the strongest statement you can make. If you're tired of playing games and ready to take control, drop a comment right now. I am the man who stays unshaken. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remind yourself daily, silence is not weakness, it's power. 6. She comes back, but on her terms. When a woman disappears from your life, you may feel a sense of longing, thinking that she's gone for good. But what happens when she comes back, and only when it suits her? Initially, she acted like she didn't care, ignoring you, maybe even making you jealous. But now, suddenly, she's back in touch. Many men make a huge mistake at this point. They assume her return is a sign of her missing them or realizing their value. They tell themselves, she wants me again. She's finally seeing my worth. But here's the reality check. She's not returning because she wants you back. She's coming back because she doesn't want to lose the option of having you around. It's all about control, not connection. If she truly valued you, she wouldn't have played these games in the first place. The fact that she only reaches out when you've pulled away speaks volumes about her intentions. She isn't offering an apology, taking responsibility for her actions, or acknowledging her past behavior. Instead, her return is casual. She may send a simple, hey, react to your social media story, or even leave things vague, avoiding any real confrontation. This isn't a sign of love or deep affection. It's a test to see if you're still available. This is where many men go wrong. They get caught up in the moment of her return, forgetting the reason she left in the first place. They let their emotions take over and open themselves up to her without questioning her motives. They forget to set boundaries and to maintain their self-respect. As a result, they fall back into the cycle of her control. Once she knows she can come and go at her will, she will repeat this pattern again and again, without ever truly valuing you or the relationship. The truth is this: a woman who values you won't treat you like an option. She won't disappear and reappear based on her own convenience. If she truly cares about you, she won't expect you to be there waiting for her to figure things out. So, what's the solution? You need to break this cycle. The next time she comes back, don't react the way she expects you to. If her message is weak or casual, ignore it. If she acts like nothing ever happened, don't entertain it. She's testing your response. If she really wants another chance, she will show it through genuine effort and accountability. A man who values himself doesn't tolerate inconsistency or weak attempts at reconnection. He stands firm in his self-respect and sets the tone for how he expects to be treated. He knows his worth and makes sure others do too. If she doesn't come back with sincerity and a real desire to rebuild the connection, then she doesn't deserve a place in your life. Stay strong, stay grounded, and don't let anyone treat you as an option. You're not just a fallback when things get uncertain. You're a man of value. 7. She moves on, or tries to. At some point, she'll stop waiting for you to reach out. She'll stop testing, stop posting for your attention, stop checking if you're still watching. But does that mean she's truly moved on? Not necessarily. See, when a woman realizes that her usual tactics aren't working, when she sees that her silence, her games, and even her attempts to make you jealous aren't getting a reaction, she has two choices. 1. She can come back with real effort. 2. Or she can try to convince herself that she's over it. And most of the time, she chooses the second option. That's when you'll notice she starts making bold moves. Maybe she jumps into a new relationship almost immediately. Maybe she starts talking about how she's never been happier without you. Maybe she even goes out of her way to prove to the world and to herself that she's completely fine. But here's the thing. You don't prove moving on. You just do it. And that's where a lot of men get caught up. They see her with someone new and they panic. They assume she's found someone better, that she's truly forgotten about them. But in reality, most of the time, this is nothing more than a reaction to your silence. She's not moving on. She's trying to force it. Women don't always process loss the way men do. While men often take time to reflect before deciding what they really want, women move faster. But that doesn't mean they move forward. They look for distractions, not solutions. They replace rather than heal. And if she's suddenly putting all her energy into proving that she's fine, that's a sign she's not. But here's the part you need to understand. If you chase her now, you lose. If you see her pretending to move on and you react, you give her exactly what she wanted from the start. Confirmation that she still has an effect on you. And once she gets that, she regains control of the situation. The best response? Do nothing. Stay focused. Stay grounded. Let time do its work. If she truly moves on, so be it. Because a woman who can leave that easily was never fully yours in the first place. But if she was just pretending, eventually the act will fade. And when it does, she will be the one questioning what she lost. The man who remains unshaken wins in the end. Stay that man. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video valuable, please hit that like button, share it with anyone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on Stoic wisdom and relationships. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with the points we discussed today? Maybe you've experienced something similar or have a different perspective. Whatever it is, feel free to share your opinions in the comments section below. I'm always open to hearing your thoughts and starting a conversation. Remember, silence isn't just a pause, it's a powerful tool. Stay strong, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.